The simplicity of the Queen's Gambit. Sometimes the moves are just so good, but they're so simple at the same time. You can see there are so many players just flicking through your screen. All these top players have played the Queen's Gambit from the white side, and so can you. What is this video all about? We're going to be seeing so many Queen's Gambit tactics from white, and we are going to see so many different types of positions, but you can also get these positions in your own games. Now, how simple is this opening? Simple, easy. The simplicity of the Queen's Gambit, that is what we are going to check out. Now, the first thing, we're going to solve the puzzle. Then I'm going to flick from the beginning, just to show you guys how we got to this position. Also in the bottom right corner, you can see the players' ratings. So firstly, I'm also going to bring in the way I evaluate a position, the way I judge a position. So what's happening? Let's do a count. Queen each, 2 rooks each, and knights each. Okay, so what's the difference? The pawns. White actually has 5, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So black is actually up 2 pawns, so it looks like black is totally winning, except for the fact that we get a very simple tactic. The simplicity of the Queen's Gambit. Sometimes you just win really quickly because the person just chucked a piece. Now, knight takes, take, and it's this move that comes out. Look out for this tactic in your own games, where you play queen a4 check, and then you win the bishop. After this check, the person blocks, and then this bishop actually drops. You can block however you want, take, and it turns out white is now the one who is winning. I might just click the next puzzle, but we're going to take it from the top. How on earth did we get this position? That's actually the other main point of this video. Not only are we going to see the tactic, but we are going to flick through from the beginning. I haven't actually told you guys what is the Queen's Gambit. d4, d5, and now c4. The person took. This is called the Queen's Gambit accepted, and this is actually a really nice way for white to play. e3 defends the center, and then the bishop can come out. Black can strike in the center. You actually you can take the pawn, you can defend it, take, and now it turns out white found a way to get the pawn back. Pin is really good, didn't actually get the pawn, and then waiting for the blunder to happen, and then we already saw this. You win the bishop. Really cool sequence. So we keep going, see how many tactics we can do. Here we go again. So first thing to judge, queens, rooks each, we've got knights each, bishops each. That's just a quick count, and look at the pawns. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it's just level, mate. Sometimes that's what happens in these kind of puzzles, but it turns out it's the placement of one piece, and that's how you get the winning answer. Both kings are quite safe because I'm saying white's going to castle soon, black is already safe. White's got the center. I would say white's a little bit better, but really it's level. One piece is actually on a funny square, and that's why you've got this winning tactic out of nothing. Turns out the queen is actually on a bad square, and yeah, look out for this in your own games. If you can trap your opponent's queen, that's it. Bishop here traps the queen. There is no good square for the queen to travel. So bishop there just wins the queen. Now the person takes in the center, but our knight was there anyway. So that's how we win the queen. Okay, well, how did we get this position? How can you get this kind of position in your own games? Let's go from the top. And we get a Queen's Gambit in this order. So one thing to notice is that the person doesn't have to play d4, c4 on the first move. Maybe they get their knight out first. So the person takes, and we saw this in the first puzzle where you play this check and then you get the pawn back. Get the center. So already this looks like an absolutely gorgeous position. I mean, it's only move 8 and already white looks like they've got a great position. A couple of bishops in the middle, the person attacks the bishop, and then we can actually trap the queen. I mean, the person missed a chance to take in the center, but hey, that's their fault. And once again, you can see the players' ratings in the bottom corner. Now in this puzzle, we won the queen. The queen is trapped. Let's go for another one. So quick judgment. So queens each, rooks each, and bishops for bishop and knight. So the position has opened up. Look out for this in your own Queen's Gambit games where you actually have two bishops, and these two bishops can slice the board. They can control so many squares. Now in this puzzle, knight takes pawn was played. Black has sacrificed a knight for 2 pawns, but it doesn't work because after take, this is actually the point. You attack the rook, but then you also threaten mate. So it looks like this is an absolutely brilliant move for black, because if you move the rook, you lose to checkmate in 1. But you've got a brilliant move here for white. You attack the queen, and then you've got time to move the rook. Pawn to g3. The queen moves, and then somewhere, and then you move the rook, and then you are now up a bishop. So how did we get this Queen's Gambit position? Let's take it from the top. d4, d5, c4. The person takes. This is the accepted. e3. Just like we saw in one of the previous puzzles, the person just took, but then the queen comes out for free anyway. So already this is just a wonderful position. You're threatening mate on f7. The person blocks. I mean, this is an absolute dream position. You can see the players' ratings in the bottom right. 1987 with the white pieces. Get the pieces out here. Get the knight in the center. That's interesting. I would have played maybe rook d1, something like this, and then e4. So slowly building up. So not only are we going through the puzzle, I'm going to make my own suggestion, where even though we got a winning tactic, how we can build the position a little bit differently. Something like this. That's what I would have done. It's like a dream position. Now in the game, the person just did something different. I mean, there are just so many ways to play. You get the knight in the game. Knight actually went to e4, a trade happened, and then this. And we saw this, I think, in one of the earlier puzzles where the queen and bishop line up and you threaten checkmate. So please try this in your own Queen's Gambit games. You block, the bishop comes out this way. Amazing move. I mean, you want to go h5. Just want to show you the idea. If the bishop, if you go here, the point is now, that's just checkmate all of a sudden. So you might as well just, whenever you get the chance, why not just throw this h pawn in? A lot of top players are playing this idea anyway. Let's go back a few moves. In this moment, the person went there, and then we saw the tactic anyway. This is a cool move, by the way. Really cool move. I would have played that because you get 2 pawns in the center, but please note the bishop attacks the queen. So it's a really good move. The queen moves somewhere, not there, and then you just go bishop here. I mean, absolute dream position in the Queen's Gambit, where you get the center, you've got the 2 bishops, the position can open up. It's a dream position. Next puzzle, time to judge. So really what happened in the last few moves, a pair of rooks came off, and now we are here. So quick judgment, guys. It's a queen each, rook each, 2 knights each. Let's look at the pawns. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So black's up a pawn. So in these kind of positions, I mean, you better get your pawn back or else you might lose eventually. But also it's about calculation. If you can see really fast compared to your opponent, you win. And this tactic is all about calculating that one move ahead and you just win a piece. So I'm going to give you the first move. This move is nothing special. You're just going to trade. Now when this trade happens, the person is going to take this knight. And I would like you to treat this as a 3-move sequence. It looks like black is just up a pawn and might eventually win this, but there's a really nice tactic where you sacrifice your queen, and then the knight comes in, and then you win the queen back. You just take, because after take, you go check. So the green arrow is move 1, the blue arrow is move 2. The king might move, and then the king, and then the knight, I mean, now takes. When this happens, you are now up a knight. So why am I drawing arrows in this way? Because an important skill is how far can you see ahead. I'm going to take. I'm going to check. So that was the blue arrow here. The king moves, and then you pick up the queen, and you are up. a knight. By the way, the knight isn't trapped because you go here. You take the pawn, the knight has a way to hop out. So really nice tactic in the Queen's Gambit. Now, how did we get this position? So let's flick from the beginning. Open up the center. Now this time white chooses to get the full center, very aggressive way to play. Now one of the most aggressive ways to play is actually e5, striking in the center. Now when that happens, I recommend you go knight here and then maybe take first, then you can castle. You sacrifice a pawn for the moment, but your pieces are in the game. Now if we go back a few moves, the person played e6, but then you just get everything you want in the Queen's Gambit. You see what I'm talking about? The simplicity of the Queen's Gambit. Within 4 moves, you basically have a great position. 2 pawns in the center, your bishop is out. You see, the Queen's Gambit is not even a gambit because you get your pawn back straight away. At the highest level, it's not even seen as a gambit, it's just a queen's pawn opening. b6. Maybe the person was worried about a check coming out, that's why that pawn move was played. Defend the center, castle, pretty soon. Nope, the person strikes in the center, and after take, I would seriously consider that one. The knight is just so strong in the center, even this one. Perfect bishop. I call this a starfish bishop because it just controls so many squares in the center. The person took the pawn, throws in a check, queen out. This is also another really cool move, by the way. Yeah, if you play this move, I mean, where's that bishop going? You might take this one, but then the knight comes in. So you guys might be thinking, why is he making suggestions? The person is rated 1526, as you can see in the bottom right, but I'm rated a bit higher on Lichess, so I'm just trying to make suggestions. Queen out, knight in, really cool moves, bishop there, and then we got the puzzle, the person castled, so that's how the person lost the pawn. And then we got this amazing sequence where you're going to sack your queen. It's not really a sack because you just get, win the knight. Time to end the video. Let's end on a good one. So this is a really, really nice short one. The simplicity of the Queen's Gambit. What do I mean? Well, that's been the theme of this video. d4, d5, c4, take, and now you strike in the center. Another way was this, which we saw in a few of the previous puzzles. The person gets the full center. Now black strikes in the center, and then you defend. You actually take this pawn, I think I mentioned it before, and then you take. Now, really cool moment here. If you take, then the knight comes in, it's just a level position. Now the person takes, and a really, really cool move. It's not the predictable move. You actually win the queen. It's a very nice opening trap, opening tactical idea where you sack the bishop. The king moves away, and then you play queen takes queen. So look out for this tactic in your own games. You play check. The king has to take, and then you win the queen. So it's a really nice one. A really, really nice time. A nice place to end the video. So, I hope you found this video useful. Let me know in the comments. What did you think of this video? And if you want to stick around, then I've got a really cool tactic video suggestion right over here.